Hey y'all, it's Jordan Moore here. You're listening to Smash FM, and I'd love to connect with you on socials, Jordan Moore Music, and I hope you give my new single, Boots, a shot on April 11th.
Welcome everyone here to the Smash Evening Show right here on Smash FM here on a Tuesday morning. And of course, let's head across to our friends over in the US in particular. Of course, it is great to have this music artist on the show. Of course, her name is Jordan. She joins us right now. Thanks, Jordan, for joining us.
Of course, happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
No worries. Well, tell us a bit about the year so far for you in the music side of things.
I have been doing this for about 3 years. I'm going on my fourth year right now, and I started when I was a senior in high school, started releasing music and writing music, performing as much as I could. And now, 3 years later, I'm still doing that. I have released 8 singles. I have a new one coming out on Friday, April 11th. It's called Boots. I'm
Mhm.
super excited about this one. This song I actually wrote on Music Row at a publishing company, so that was so exciting. And I'm currently getting my band ready to start playing out, doing some really fun gigs, hopefully doing some original shows. And I've actually joined some other bands to play with them. And yeah, it's been really great. I'm keeping myself busy. I got some national anthems coming up, and it's been great.
Great segue to our next question. You've already mentioned, of course, Boots coming out this week. Of course, Friday your time, Saturday our time. Tell us a bit about it.
So yeah, Boots was written on Music Row. I was in a writing room. It was at Major Bob's publishing house, and I wrote it with now my friend Nina. We did not know each other going into it, so that made it so much more fun. I've always written with people that I had known and was really comfortable with, so I was venturing out. One of the co-writers that was supposed to be there had his wife had just had a baby, so it ended up just being us two. And she came in with this idea, and I loved it because I tend to lean towards sassier songs. And I had actually gone through an experience like she was mentioning. So when we wrote it, we were just bouncing ideas off each other, telling each other about our experiences. And, anyone can relate to this song how they want to, but specifically in my story, I was dealing with a man who pretty much told me I would never get anywhere without him. And my response to that was, watch me, you know? I didn't need him. I could stand my ground. I could, do anything that I believed I could do. And it kind of says, I could walk a mile in your shoes, but I love to see you walk a mile in my boots. So it's a really fun, upbeat song. It's very tongue in cheek, just having fun with it. It's nothing too serious. But yeah, it's a country rock song. It's really fun. And, I always say this whenever I release a new song, but this one's my current favorite that I've released and written. So I'm really excited for it to be out in the world. I've had it, uh, we wrote it in November. So it's been, I've been very excited to get this one out. So I think everyone's going to love it.
Yeah. You mentioned about the tour as well. That's coming obviously on the back of this song. When are you planning to go out on tour with Boots?
Well, I'm not going on tour, but I am
Okay.
going to be playing around Orlando. I will be in Nashville in June, so I'm hoping that I will get some writers' rounds in there. And my band is getting ready to do some, we're still in the rehearsal process right now, but we are going to have an original show in June, June 21st in Winter Park. The details are still being settled, but I'm really excited because I get to sing all of my original music, which doesn't happen very often in the live music scene. So I'm really excited for that. But I guess you could call that my mini tour. But right now, there's only a few dates.
You got Boots coming out now. Oh, sorry, not now, at the end of the week. But have you got any other plans for more releases for the rest of 2025?
Oh yeah, I am releasing a ton this year. This is going to be the most I've ever released in a year. I'm so excited. We already have 2 more songs getting lined up, getting recorded, and I'll go up in Nashville and I'm going to be recording 3 songs up there. So it's going to be a lot of releasing. I'm excited to get these songs out in the world. I have been writing a ton with my team, and I'm starting to branch out and co-write with a ton of people. Is the goal of 2025 to co-write a lot and also writing on my own. And yeah, tons of releases. I have one that will come out hopefully in May. So not too far off from Boots. And this one is going to be very different from Boots, but that's what I kind of like about it. It's different. So I think everyone will like that one. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But yeah, it's in the recording process right now.
So obviously you've got some other songs which I've already had a listen to, um, in this past week or so. How's the reactions been like to your music to those songs in the lead up?
It's been great. I kind of have been going through a transition phase of figuring out my sound, what exactly I wanted to say, and I just really wanted to experiment. And I've been experimenting with a ton of different sounds to just see what hit and what I felt was most me. And my last release was All Take No Give, and that song, it meant a lot to me because it had been something that I had been fighting through for a bit with some people. So really seeing that kind of felt like letting go of some situations, and the reaction was great. People loved it. I think I got some traction with it on YouTube, which was crazy. I think it's at about 13,000 streams on YouTube. I'm so grateful. And yeah, everyone's been streaming it. And I've been kind of going down this country rock not phase, because that's what I love the most is country rock. But I'm also trying to touch into my emotions and not do all of the sassy songs. So in the future, there's going to be some more emotional songs rather than, you know, coming at people.
Our Aussie fans are dying to know, when are you coming to the land down under?
Oh gosh, I'm not sure. I got to plan a trip.
Oh, okay. Hopefully anytime soon.
Oh gosh. I don't know. There's nothing on the schedule, but we might have to talk about it and get some shows out there.
Okay, okay. I'm assuming it's on your bucket list, isn't it?
Oh yeah, for sure. I want to travel everywhere in the future. That is the goal. As long as I'm playing my music and traveling the world, that will be absolutely amazing.
Mm. Let's talk a bit about your music journey. Where
Okay.
where did the love of music start, and what does it mean now?
That's a loaded question. Ever since I was little, I have loved to sing. There's a really funny picture of me when I was like 2 or 3, and I marched up to this guy that was on stage, and I grabbed the microphone and I started singing. And it's a really funny picture. The guy now follows me, which is crazy because, now I'm almost 21. So, I guess it's always just been a part of me. I've always been very talkative. So singing just kind of came naturally. I did musical theater for 10 years. My brother started at first. And of course, when you're a little sister, you want to be just like your big brother. So I started musical theater. And when the pandemic hit, I decided to take a step back from musical theater. I love to act and I love to dance, but music and singing was just kind of what I loved the most about it. So I had an opportunity to demo for a songwriter, and that's when I discovered the entire music world. I did not really think about how songs are recorded. You just listen to them on your phone, but you don't, think about, oh, people wrote these songs and recorded these songs, and there's so much that goes behind it. And I just fell in love with the world and how everything works. I fell in love with the business. And when I first walked into the studio to demo for this songwriter, it was a moment of, yep, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm doing for the rest of my life. And I always knew I wanted to sing, but I didn't know exactly what that entailed. So, yeah, I started my senior year and released my first song in 2021, October. It's called Haunted House. And yeah, honestly, the first time I started, my parents knew. They kind of were like, yep, this is what she's going to do. So I've had a lot of support, and it's just been working very hard since I discovered this world.
Do you have any like future goals, like short and long term in music?
Absolutely. So short term right now would be releasing every 8 weeks. I really want to be releasing a lot and continue to connect with the people all over the world. That's one of my favorite parts of this is I get to meet so many people, even though it's online. I still consider these people my friends, and I love, supporting other artists. That is something I'm so passionate about, is supporting people that are going for this same dream, because those are the best people to have in your circle. And I'd love to play more shows. That is one of my main goals. I love performing more than anything. So I've been trying to fill up my calendar, even though they're just solo cover gigs right now. They're opening up to original shows, and I'd love to be getting up to Nashville this year. And long-term goals would be, my absolute dream is to play at the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville. That is, that will be a very big moment in my career, and I would love to go there and be on tour. That would be awesome. Connecting with people and singing my songs and singing them with everyone. Yeah, that's the goal right now, is just as long as I'm doing music for the rest of my life, I am so happy. So those are the goals right now.
Well, you've answered one of my follow-up questions I was going to ask about the Grand Opry, so I'm glad you answered that. The other venue, another famous venue in Nashville, is the Ryman as well.
Oh,
Have is that something on your bucket list as well?
absolutely. The Ryman is beautiful. I haven't had the opportunity to step into the Ryman, but I would love to just even go see a show there. But the Ryman and the Grand Ole Opry, they are just such classic venues, especially in country music, but in music in general. And being on either of those stages would be such an honor. And yeah, I would love to do that.
Well, do you have a favorite venue that you've performed already that you love to go back to?
It's hard. I've played some smaller venues right now because, I'm a small artist, but I've had the opportunity to sing at many events, the national anthem, and those are some pretty big venues. I've sang at the Kia Center, Camping World Stadium, some very big venues in Florida. And I think my favorite was a recent one I did a few weeks ago at Camping World Stadium. It was for the Monster Jam Orlando, and there were 40,000 people there. And that was the biggest moment in my career so far. And that was a venue that I dream that I will be on my own tour one day playing Camping World. But that was such a great venue. I loved all of the people there. And yeah, I'd love to go back.
So you mentioned about performing the national anthem. Obviously, I think it's the most touching anthem in the world. You mentioned about the Monster Jam one a moment ago, but obviously being down in Florida, in particular, have you performed in front of NBA or NFL venues?
I have. I sang at the Orlando Magic game this season and also last season. And I actually, 5 minutes before our call, my dad came in and let me know that they asked me back. So I'm going to be singing for the NBA for, I think it's some type of finals. I'm not the best when it comes to basketball, but if I'm being honest, I love watching it, but I don't know the whole bracket and how that works. But yeah, they just asked me back for the NBA, so that's crazy. The NFL would definitely be, that would be awesome. I would love to sing the national anthem at a Packers game. My family is Green Bay Packer fans. My dad
Mm.
was born and raised in Wisconsin, and I lived there for a bit. So that would be a big moment for my family to be singing at such a big game like that. So putting that out into the world.
Okay, so there you go. Packers management. She wants to perform up in Lambeau Field. So you mentioned about that. Obviously, I'm sure we're the first one to know now about
Yes.
the NBA playoffs, which I know Orlando will probably have a home court in that one. What would that mean to you to play in technically the play in or the playoffs with the Magic?
I've never sang at one of the playoff games for the Magic, so I'm very excited. It actually will be next Monday. It's going to be a big moment, and I honestly, anytime I get to sing the anthem, whether it is a small venue or a big venue, I still feel such honor singing it. It means so much to our country, and It's a tough song, and I love doing it, and I love meeting everyone there, and it's gotten me some really great opportunities. The most touching one I did was the smallest crowd, but it meant so much. It was for the Lake County Fallen Heroes Memorial, and it was for all of the deputies and people involved in the police force that we had lost. And I sang, and it was so emotional. I was bawling my eyes out. But, the national anthem can really connect people, and yeah, it's a great opportunity, and I love any time I get to do it.
They mentioned it's the one of the hardest songs, especially to sing, especially in front of like anywhere between 20 to 50 to 80,000 people.
Yeah.
How do you compose yourself in those situations?
Yeah, so I used to struggle with nerves before events, especially the national anthem. And of course, any artist, you're going to get nerves any performance because that just it means you care and you want to do your best. But my nerves were very, prominent. They were there. I knew they were there, and I actually had someone tell me shout out to David Davidson. He told me this advice, and it kind of changed the way I approached the anthem. And he said, turn those nerves into excitement because you are so excited, but sometimes the nerves can really get you in your head and it can affect your performance. So ever since I changed my mindset, I still feel that little pit in my stomach, but I'm just excited. I feel this, passion, and it's really helped, calm the nerves because the more nerves you have, it can affect your vocals. So you want to be as calm and composed as possible. So I just turned those into excitement and passion, and that really helped me at any big event. I would be nervous weeks before, but now, I do it and I'm excited and I'm just ready to get on the middle of that court and start singing. So, yeah, that's how I started controlling the nerves better.
What would be your advice to people that should get involved in music?
I would say, and I always say this, is do not compare yourself to people in the music industry. I think you should do it. If you're going to do it with your whole heart and just constantly do what is best for you and not what other people want for you. Because what's most important is that you stay true to who you are and you release the music that you want to release. You always dress the way you want to dress, because you're always going to find your audience and who connect with you. And it's always just important that you're authentic, and not comparing yourself will help you so much because on social media it's so easy to compare yourself and think you're not good enough, but you have to believe in yourself for other people to believe in you. So I would say always go for your dreams. Don't feel like you can't do it. It's hard. It is a hard business. I will tell you that. It never slows down. You're constantly doing something, but I think it's so worth it.
Do you prefer songwriting or performing?
Okay, I'm answering this quick. I would say performing because it is something I've done since I was a kid, and it is something that it's my favorite part of this job is performing. And that's where I'm so happy. And songwriting is still very new to me. I feel like the more I do it, the more I love it. I've been trying to challenge myself to write on my own more, and it can be really therapeutic, and I'm really starting to grow such a big love for it. But right now, performing is, still my favorite part.
We'll finish with a couple of light-hearted questions as well. Do you have a pre-performance superstition, ritual, or routine?
Before a performance, I eat differently. I always eat something that, it's very important you eat before a performance. Sometimes nerves can cause you to not want to, but you have to because once you're up there, you can get dizzy quick and you're singing your heart out. So I always eat something light that I know isn't going to hurt my stomach, or when you're singing, stuff tends to like push up more. So you want to eat something that isn't going to hurt or affect your vocals. Stay away from dairy, fried foods. So I eat something light and I drink tons of throat coat tea. I have to. I used to do this singer spray when I was in high school, and I recently started doing it again. I did it once, and I will probably never do it again. It is the most disgusting thing I've ever tasted. Um, so I only do it if it's absolutely necessary. But yeah, I always run through things in my head. I always try to remain positive and I don't let the gig stress get to me.
Mhm.
And I make sure that I have absolutely everything. My entire PA system is labeled and put in Ziploc bags and perfectly together so that I have to have that. If everything is messy, it's not going to go well.
Oh.
So I just always make sure I have everything and that I'm prepared and I just sing my heart out.
Did do you ever forget a lyric to a song, and how have you tried to cover it up?
Oh, that's a good question. Yes, absolutely. Every artist does. You can search up artists forgetting their lyrics, and there will be hours of material there. Um, when it comes to original music, it's not, I mean, you obviously don't want to mess up. It's easier to cover up because sometimes people don't know them, especially if I'm a small artist. If I'm performing out and doing original, most people don't know it. And sometimes I just sing a random lyric, but the main thing is to not show it on your face. Don't show that you messed up. You keep going, and if you stop singing, which happens, you just fall right back into place and you keep singing. And most of the time, no one's gonna notice, and if you do, it's more how you act afterwards. You can't, oh, I forgot a lyric and I'm just gonna stop singing and now the whole song is done. Like, no, you should be able to hop back in. So I've forgotten lyrics. I've sang the second verse as the first verse before. I have completely just not sang the bridge before. This all it happens, and you can't beat yourself up, especially if you've been singing the songs a ton and you know them, but sometimes it just happens in the moment. So yeah, I just keep going. I try, if you don't show it on your face, no one's gonna notice. So that's how I cover it up. Confidence.
Now we'll finish with these last two. The first one is: have you ever had a strange song request?
This is really strange because I know that a ton of people get song requests, but I've only gotten, okay, actually, I just thought of one. I was about to say I haven't been requested a weird song before, but I
Ooh.
have. I was at a private gig and I was with a full band, and this older man came up to me. He had a 20 in his hand and he asked me, "Oh, can you sing this song?" I don't know what the song is.
Oh.
I don't remember it. Didn't know it in the moment. And then I'm like, maybe it's just me. Maybe I just don't know the song. So then I asked my band, who are various ages. They're like, I have never heard of that artist before.
Oh no.
So we're all like, we have no idea. So what this guy does is he walks past me and hands my guitar player the 20 and says, "Great job." And I was like, okay, you know, he's gonna give us all the 20 for the song, and he just handed it to our guitar player. He was shredding, so he did deserve the 20. He was like, he can do crazy stuff. But yeah, that was the strangest experience because all of us were just looking at each other and we're confused of what's going on, but we just were like, "Oh, we're sorry, sir. Hopefully there's something in here that you like."
I'm sorry. I'm gonna ask this as a follow up. Do you know that song now or not?
I don't even remember what the song was.
Oh.
I had never heard it. I was so, it was my first private party, and I had never, in my band, we memorize everything. So, if we take requests, hopefully it's on our set list, but most of the time we already have had rehearsed it because we think we could perform better that way. And yeah, since I couldn't even hear him that well, and then when I did ask my band about it, they had no idea. So by the end of the night, I kind of forgot about it, to be honest.
Oh, love it. Love it. Final one. It's a two-part question. The first part is: how can our amazing listeners get to follow you on the socials and, of course, on the website and on their favorite streaming services?
Yeah, so on all of social media, every single one of them, I am Jordan Mohr Music. My last name is spelled Mohr. So Jordan Mohr Music on all social medias. My website is jordanmohrmusic.com. I try to make it easy. And then my all streaming platforms are Jordan Mohr. So just drop the music and then I'm on streaming platforms.
I'm assuming you got some merch as well. Well, Australian fans to hopefully purchase, especially with boots coming out soon.
Yeah, I have merch on my website. You can find mostly everything there on my website. It has links to all streaming platforms and all of my social media, so that's a great place to go if you want to see where everything is. I need to get more merch up there. I want to design some for Boots. We have a really cool logo for Boots.
Mm.
So that I had posted on my social media, I think. But yeah, we want to put that on a sweatshirt and some shirts. So I'll get up some Boots merch soon.
Well, Jordan, it is so awesome to have you on the show. Can't wait for Boots to be released. Obviously, as you mentioned, Friday the 11th of April. Of course, I think that's Saturday the 12th of April, our time. So can't wait for that. And of course, best of luck with the tour coming up. Well, sorry, what I meant by tour, some shows that you got coming out very soon with Boots. And of course, your other release that's coming out, as you mentioned, end of May, I think you mentioned.
Yep.
So looking forward to that as well. And yeah, hopefully we'll get you back on the show very soon to talk a bit about your latest, oh, sorry, your other one that's coming out in about 8 weeks' time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on the show. Thank you to everyone listening. I'm so excited to connect with you. Feel free to send me a DM. Let's connect. And yeah, thank you again.
No worries. And that's Jordan Mohr there joining. So, of course, you can hear Boots. It is on release, of course, Friday, their time. And, of course, we'll put all the details up on how you can get that. There's more on the Smash Evening Show right after this. Don't go away. Here on the 50th year celebration.
Hey y'all, it's Jordan Moore here. You're listening to Smash FM, and I'd love to connect with you on socials, Jordan Moore Music, and I hope you give my new single, Boots, a shot on April 11th.